What is up, YouTube, and what is up, world? This is KOS Avenger. That's KOS and then the word Avenger on YouTube and Xbox, otherwise known as Rebel80, coming at you guys again with another video this morning. I know you guys are probably tired of me making videos, but I promise you this is the last one for today. And this is going to be kind of, this isn't a part of the Aaron Zajac show. This is just kind of a, not necessarily a personal vlog. See, my vlog just kind of talks about daily life. This video series is kind of a secondary series. This is mostly just meant to kind of talk about autism and how it affects me as a person, and kind of just talking about, some of the things that I struggle with as a person with autism. And I feel like, honestly, there's a lot of judgment for people with autism, or I do have autism and Asperger's syndrome, high functioning Asperger's syndrome, and I have essentially, it's known as what's an autism spectrum disorder. So there's a whole range of disorders that can be associated with autism. And I would like to emphasize that, um, autism affects everyone differently. It's not like the common cold, okay? The common cold has like symptoms which people can recognize. That's how they know that you have a cold, right? Well, it's not the same thing with autism. You can take two, three, four, it doesn't matter how many people with autism, and they will act completely different as if they're just different people, which they are, right? People are all different, right? And, you know, that's just what they're gonna do, and they're all gonna exhibit different, I don't want to say symptoms because that makes it sound like a disease, and it's not. They're gonna exhibit different behavior. That's kind of the best word I can use for it. And for me personally, I think I have changed a lot ever since I was younger. Because if you compared myself now to my younger self, like my 5-year-old self, and I know some people are gonna be like, well, you're almost 20 now. Of course you're gonna be different from when you're 5. Well, yes, naturally. But I also feel like the effects of autism on me were also different. Um, and of course, this is different for everybody. There are some people with autism that are nonverbal. They decide not to speak. And it's not that they can't speak. Um, it's just maybe they don't have anything to say at the moment. And maybe that's just because, like me, I tend to observe and think about what's going on around me before I say something. Um, that's not to say that, there aren't people that do, you know, that that can't, you know, that's not to say that there aren't people that are nonverbal that can't speak. I feel like that's kind of, a stigma there. They say, "Oh, you're nonverbal, you must not speak." I mean, you don't know that. That's just like saying you can't judge people. Like you don't know that person, just like you don't know me, so you have no idea how autism affects me. Um, and when I was younger, I feel like autism kind of affected me a bit more, and I think it had stronger effect, if you will, on my brain activity and behavior. At least that's the best way I can kind of say that. Honestly, there were days like I remember I would just not care a single thing about the world, naturally, like most kids do, and I would just kind of like run around, do my own thing. I would be in my own little world, you know. For me personally, that's Star Wars because I love Star Wars. I've loved it since I was 5 years old. It's the, it's amazing. You know, I've seen like all the TV shows. I've seen like all the movies. It's amazing. Um, of course, you compare that now to when I'm older, and I feel like I'm a bit more mature now. I've been told that I'm a bit more mature than most people my age. You know, most people that are 19 going on 20, they like to party and drink, and in some very bad cases, you know, they like to, you know, make bad decisions. And I'm not saying that I don't make bad decisions. I do. As a human being, I do. But um, I'm just saying, compared to most other people, like in college, I actually study really hard and I make all A's. I've been making all A's since basically my sophomore year of college. And I've made all A's like throughout, I think, my whole senior year of high school. So I'm just a very hard worker, and I'm just very diligent and very studious. Like, I know when to do stuff and when to kind of chill, um, and that kind of thing. But I also feel like I understand things better now. Like, going back and actually watching things that I didn't quite understand. Like, when I saw Star Wars for the first time, I had no idea what I was looking at, but it looked really cool. And, you know, watching it now, I actually understand the story better. I've watched it a lot of times, so now I get it for sure, but there are just things that, you know, even as a kid that you kind of feel blind to, but when you watch it as an adult, you're like, wow, this had some sort of effect on me. And is that so? What does this have to do with like autism or anything? I just think it has to deal with the fact that because I've sort of outgrown some of the behaviors that autism affected me with, I guess you could say. Um, it, um, you know, I've changed as a person. You know, I'm definitely a lot smarter than I used to be. I mean, I was a smart kid in school. Um, I still am affected by autism in a way. Like, I still don't understand social cues. Um, and that's sort of what autism is with respect to me and to some other people. I can't really speak for them, I can only speak for me. But it's mostly a social, kind of neurological disorder where I just don't quite pick up on every kind of social cue. And that's okay. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. And you know, for instance, if someone makes like a joke, you know, I will take that literally, and then they'll give me like a puzzled look, like, what's wrong with you? Like, it's a joke. And then I'll be like, oh, well, I don't think quite the same way other people do, and that kind of thing. Um, and yeah, so I noticed that I have about a minute left before time runs out. So I just want to say thank you guys for coming and watching. Um, you know, I'll try and update this series more. Um, you know, I probably won't update it as much, but I will try and update it as much as I can. So, anyway, thanks for watching, and this is KOS Avenger, otherwise known as Rebel80, signing off. And you guys have a great, safe, and awesome day. Alright, see you in the next video.